Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got an audio system demo of the 2020 Nissan 370Z. And we've got the Nismo trim here, which means we're rocking an 8-speaker Bose audio system powered by 240 watts. Now unfortunately, our uncompressed WAV audio files were not playing through the USB port on this car, so we are running through Bluetooth. So this is a disclaimer to our usual audio system tests that these are not uncompressed WAV audio files. This is simply Bluetooth streaming. Technically the files are uncompressed WAV files on my phone, but because we're streaming Bluetooth, I can't guarantee what bitrate they're coming through on the system. So, with that out of the way, let's hop out and take a quick look at the car. This is Nissan's top level Z car, so the most performance you're going to get on the south side of a GTR, coming in at about $45,000, maybe just a bit above when you count in delivery costs and this beautiful white paint. I think the car looks awesome, even though it is a little dated. It's kept its looks really well. If you want to see more on the car, we've got a little review done with Nathan from Daily Motor. Link to that will be in the description when it goes live. Okay, so let's go ahead and count speaker grills here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think there's a center speaker. Now there might be 2 speakers in here, so keep that in mind. We're just counting grills. What else we got? 5, 6. I see 2 speakers behind the seats. And then I do know that we got a subwoofer right down in there, so that might be both 7 and 8. Okay, so not too bad for a car of this size, although I am surprised the wattage is only 240. You'd think might be getting a bit more at 45 grand, but it is what it is. In terms of audio inputs for the 370Z, you've got your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, as well as a USB port. It's not a 3.5 millimeter auxiliary jack, but you do have RCA input, so you could plug a red and white into 3.5 right there, so we'll count that as an auxiliary. And then you've also got a CD player. So what does that mean you're missing? Not really much, because on top of the Bluetooth, the only thing you're missing is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support. Not too surprising that it's not supported here on this very old system. The system is a touchscreen though, so you can use the buttons to get around, or you can press things on the touchscreen. There's a little bit of a delay, but not too bad. It's just kind of old looking. Alright, for audio controls, you've got a very nice to turn volume knob here with good detents, as well as volume buttons on the left side of the steering wheel here. For track selection, you've got steering wheel controls, and then back and forth controls right here, as well as play and pause on the touchscreen. Alright, let's get it fired up. Also, so I can get some air conditioning going in here. It is stuffy. Okay, what do we got here? We do have a few new tracks here for the audio system test as well. We'll get those going here in just a moment. highway speed. Turn the music down here and let you hear what the 370Z Nismo sounds like at 70 miles per hour. These Dunlop Sport Max performance tires are loud. There's no way to cut it, and there's not a great amount of sound deadening here in the Z. So you hear pretty much every bump you go over sends a lot of sound through the cabin, and then just the rolling road noise as well. Apparently there should be active noise canceling here in the Z, but I can't tell you that it seems to do too much. And if it does, then this car is even louder than we realize. So that doesn't help the audio quality much. So let's switch on over to this song, which will really let us know what the sound system's capable of. For audio settings here in the 370Z, pop into here and whoops, go to audio. Got your standard front, left, back, right, fader, and balance, as well as bass and treble. So as this song gets going, we'll sample those. You also have a speed-sensitive volume control. Now we always do these sound system reviews with the factory settings for these audio settings. However, I found while I was listening to music throughout the week here in the 370Z, I had to drop the fader back one, move the sound behind me a bit, as well as 1 up on the treble and 2 to 3 up on the bass, depending on what kind of music I was listening to. I just needed more on the top and bottom ends to really poke through these loud tires. Overall thoughts and impressions on the 8-speaker Bose system here in the Nissan 370Z. It's just below okay. It's kind of a hardly adequate sort of system. And upon first impression, that doesn't really come off that way. If you're at slow speeds or stopped in this car, and you've got a hip-hop or R&B or techno-y type song in this car, it's going to sound really, really good. That bass is pumping through nice and strong, and it's satisfying. It's not overbearing, but it's also not lacking. However, when you get moving and you deal with all the cabin noise interference, and you start listening to a few more dynamic sort of tracks that are really benefited from more channels, more power, and more speakers, the system kind of starts to fall apart. Being a Bose system, there's a bit of a universality to it. All Bose systems manage to sound kind of within a 5 to 7.5, maybe 8 window in terms of sound quality. But the 370Z system's definitely on the lower end. It's also not helped out by this very old infotainment system. It's not exactly intuitive. It takes a little while to get used to for both Bluetooth pairing and audio listening. Fortunately, it does have a good amount of buttons to use, but it's just not the best system here in 2020, and that brings it down a bit. So my overall rating for the Bose system here in the 350Z would be a pretty solid 5. It sounds okay for most music, but you're definitely lacking for certain songs, definitely at highway speeds, and the system's not helping. Objectively, in the sports car field, you might be looking at more of a 6. A lot of cars in this sort of aggressive sports car category are going to have loud tires and not as much sound deadening to sort of help with weight savings. So, I hope you guys were able to get a good impression for the Bose system here in the 370Z. If you liked the video, definitely hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a bunch. Feel free to check out our comprehensive review on this 370Z, as well as a lot of our other videos on our channel. We will see you on the next one. As always, I'm Charlie from Daily Motor. Drive on.